Good morning and welcome back to the channel. You join us as we leave Stockholm and make our way to the Norwegian border. For those of you who have been following us, you'll know our water pump is broken. We popped into yet another camping shop, but unfortunately they couldn't help us, so we had to carry on across the border and try and source one in Norway.
Not long after we'd crossed into Norway, we stopped for a break and stumbled across a Norwegian wedding with a reception on a steamboat. They were certainly enjoying themselves. It was nice to watch. We then stretched our legs along a canal and even found a swing so we could have a little swing in. We then went back on the road to find our first park up for the night in Norway.
We finally made it to Norway. We're in a place called Torkestrada. That's probably not the way you pronounce it, but that's how you read it. And this is our park up.
Da, da, da. And look at that! How cool is that? Our first park up is by a swim beach. We're just below Oslo, I think, about half an hour from Oslo. But I think right now we're contemplating actually going for our first dip in the Norwegian Sea. What do you think, Mr. Doyle?
Yeah, why not?
Okay, let's do it. How is that? It's your first swim. Just go for it.
Oh.
Yay, he's in. Well done, Mr. Doyle, for braving it. You will notice I chickened out. We then watched the ferry go by, and later that night we had the most glorious sunset. What a great park up we had found.
Good morning, Mrs. D, and what are you doing?
New country day. We're in Norway. Should we put the flag on?
Put the flag on.
It's actually a smaller flag than the others. It's taking time, this one. Looks straight to you, Mr. Doyle.
No, it's a veg, yet, that's okay.
Yeah. Do my rubbing as normal. And the flag is on.
Flag is on, that's Norway.
Norway. As we left our park up, we started our journey through many tunnels. At the time this was taken, we didn't realise how many tunnels we would encounter. They came in all shapes and sizes, and colours of course, but they were pretty spectacular. Mr. D, however, later on in Norway did say to me, I am getting a bit fed up of the tunnels now, after about our 200 tunnel. This was one of the many park-ups that we stopped for lunch one day. Very pretty and beautiful, and the weather was brilliant. We then drove to our first park up, which was a little campsite in the woods. Good morning people, a bit of a change to the weather today. It rained hard in the night and now you can see all the mist and fog going up off the mountains, which is quite nice. So we're at Norway camping. I'm not sure if that's pronounced right, but it's a little campsite just off the motorway, and very pretty actually. It's quite primitive, everything's a bit old-fashioned, but what we have discovered this morning is that it has a wonderful baker's shop, and yeah, where we get fresh bread, and the owners are really nice. After a great night's sleep at a fantastic little campsite, we then continued our journey towards a stave church that we wanted to visit for a long time. So this is Heddle Stave Church, and it's the largest wooden church in Norway. It's still used, it's a parish church still to this day. It's used for weddings, funerals, baptisms. It's truly a magnificent sight, as you can see. It's made entirely of wood. It's 25 metres long and 70 metres wide, and it's 29 metres tall. The timber dates back around the year 1000, but the church was erected sometime in the 13th century and it was dedicated to St. Mary. This is only one, and I'm sure we'll come across others during our trip, but there's only 28 wooden churches left in Norway. So this layer goes around the entire church to protect it from the weather. And the cold. And we are back into the church. we left the stave church, we realised Norway was turning out to be beyond our expectations. Every time we turned around a bend in the road, a different scene would appear. And as this was only our second day in Norway, we both wondered what would await us on our journey.
Coming up next time, I take Mrs. D on a date night. Are you enjoying your date night, Mrs. D?
Well, IKEA, meatballs.
And we get to walk behind a stunning waterfall.